someday you might see it. Yeah, never say die. Got to go.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the final Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Season 1 Dynasty Series deck profile. It's me, Cooper, and it's time to talk about the Dark Magician Girl Duel Spirit. She did show up in the first season during the Duel Festival or whatever that Cyrus threw, I don't remember. Oh, he didn't throw it, but he threw like a costume contest. And we are here to talk about Dark Magician Girl. Now, her deck is going to look extremely weird to you because I made it myself. She did not use a lot of cards in her duel against Jaden. And honestly, I had to make up a lot of crap. And I did not go off the Tag Force deck. I went off something else. I went off the female monster decks, the female cards that she did use. So let's go ahead and dive into Dark Magician Girl's deck. We have her boss monster, the triple Dark Magician Girl. There we go. You could easily summon one of these. We have Magician's Valkyria, the freaking lock card. We have the Fire Sorcerer. Not great. We have Ebon Magician Kuran, a freaking good burn card that's easy to summon. We have White Magician Bikaru, a good healing card that's not hard to summon. We have Apprentice Magician, the Floater Magicians. We have Magician of Faith, the Spell Card Recovery Magician. We got the original Dark Hole, freaking awesome. We got Dimension Fusion, freaking busted. We have Magicians Unite. With this deck, Magicians Unite is actually freaking busted. We have Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed, Standard. We have Soul Release, which is only good for Dimension Fusion, I think. I don't know why she had it, but whatever. We have the Magical Dimension, a really, really good card. We have MSTs, we have the Magic Formulas, which only work on her, so this is kind of going to be a problem, but whatever. We have the Dark Renewal, a really good trap card. We have Magician Circle, a card that makes it utterly, like, you're guaranteed to summon Dark Magician Girl in a duel. This makes it so easy. And we have the Call of the Haunted. Dark Magician Girl's deck may look weird, but goddamn is it interesting. So, here we go. Let's dive into Dark Magician Girl's attack stat. Good enough attack. 2000 is not great in this kind of a series, but it'll do. 1600 is whatever. 1000's not good. 1200's meh. And 1200's meh. 400 and 300 is not good. But I'm going to give her a point because Magicians Unite says if you have two spellcasters on the field, two or more, as long as they're in attack position, one of them gets 3000 attack until the end of the turn. It's not hard to summon two or more thanks to Apprentice Magician or the Lock of Magician's Valkyrie, which means that getting a 3000 attack point monster is not bad. Even if the other monsters can't attack, it's fine. Getting a 3000 attack point monster is not even that bad. But because it requires a spell card to pull that off, her attack stat is still going to be low. I'm afraid that her attack stat in this series is going to be 2 bars. I am only going to give Dark Magician Girl 2 bars in attack stat. Sad to say. It could have been worse, honestly. It could have been worse. The Magic Formulas help too, but they're so freaking... You have to have Dark Magician Girl, so that kind of sucks. But let's move on to the defense stat. Defense stat, we have 1700, which for a tribute's not very good. 1800 is really good. That's super solid. 1500 is usable. That's not bad. 0 is terrible. 0 is terrible. That's terrible. 800, terrible. 400, terrible. If it wasn't for the 1800, this deck would be considered complete ass. In fact, it's getting a 2. Dark Magician Girl receives a 2 bar in defense. There's too many zeros for me to not give it a 2. 1800 is not going to save you, Dark Magician Girl. I'm sorry. 1500's alright though, but it's not going to save you. However, we need to talk about the speed stat now. Which speed cards are... Waiting for it. Apprentice Magician. These count as speed because they can special summon a level 2 or lower spellcaster monster in face down defense position from your deck. Magician of Faith counts as speed because it searches your graveyard and gives you a spell card back. Dimension Fusion counts as special summons. In fact, it can be up to 5 special summons, so that's a lot of speed. Magical Dimension definitely counts as speed because not only does it pop a monster, but you get to special summon a spellcaster from your hand. Very good. Dark Renewal 100% counts as speed because you get special summon a monster from your deck or graveyard, a spellcaster. Magician Circle, all of these count as speed, and Call of the Haunted counts as speed. All of these are super fast speed. All of her cards are super good speed. The only monster for speed are Apprentice and Magician of Faith, but that's more than some. Honestly, this deck is really fast when it comes to the speed stat, and its focus is summoning the Dark Magician Girl. It's not hard to get her on the field. In fact, this might be one of the easiest decks to summon Dark Magician Girl with. It's going to be amazing for getting her out here. So, overall, I could say, or you could just go for this girl and go for the lock if you go for Magician's Circle, because the lock might be more valuable to you depending on the opponent. But I'm going to say it, this deck when it comes to speed is going to get a lot of points. In fact, because it has a good mix of monster spells and trap cards that give you speed, I'm going to give her a 7 bars in speed. She may not have much attack, she may not have much defense, but when it comes to speed, she's got it going on. So, let's go ahead and move on to the skill stat. Dark Magician Girl, not skill. Magician's Valkyria, a lock is a lot of skill. A lock is definitely going to be a lot of skill, and it's not hard to do thanks to the revival card Call of the Haunted, thanks to Magical Dimension, thanks to Magician's Circle. It's not hard to pull off the lock in this deck. A Fire Sorcerer, that technically is a burn card. It costs a lot to do it, but it is a burn card, so that works. Burn card, Ebon Magician Kuren, that's all burn. Stall card, White Magician Bakiru, that starts a stall because it heals your life points. Apprentice Magician, that counts as a little bit of stall because it's a floater. Magician of Faith, nope. Anything else count as stall, burn, win condition, anything like that? Soul Release kind of does something, I guess. Okay, all the formulas count as 700. All of them count as 700. Even if they're just set on the field, you never activate them. If they get popped, you get healed for 700 life points. That's all stall. So there you go. Dark Renewal, not technically. That's more of a speed-based card. Magician Circle speed, that's speed. So we have big points in skill, points in skill, points in skill, points in skill, points in skill. And when it comes to spells and traps, that's where we fall. Well, no, we get points in skill. And maybe a little, maybe I'll up this with Magic Formula. That counts as 1 point together. And that's the only way I'm going to count that. So most of the monsters are actually skill based. And this deck, 100% thanks to the lock, can win by skill. Thanks to Ebon, thanks to White Magician. You 100% can just win this deck by skill. You don't ever have to attack your opponent. You can burn them to death. Fire Sorcerer, you can burn them to death. You can do it. I've actually done it. I've won this duel. I've won duels with skill before, and I've never even attacked my opponent, which makes it possible. In fact, if it wasn't for that spell card that gives you 3,000 attack, I wouldn't even recommend trying to win the duel by attacking, unless you get Dark Magician Girls out early before your opponent can get out any powerful monsters. Overall, though, when it comes to the skill stat, I'm going to give her a lot. Because this deck is skill reliant. This deck will require you to win with your skill stat. And in fact, I'm going to give her 7 bars in skill. She's earned it. When it comes to speed, she's fast. When it comes to skill, she's tactical. When it comes to attack and defense, she's ass. But it's okay because she can make up for it with those stats. But it's time to talk about the brick stat. Little bit bricky for Dark Magician Girls. Not bricky, not bricky, not bricky, not bricky. Anti-brick, not bricky, not bricky. Kind of bricky Dimension Fusion, but it's okay. Magicians Unite can be considered kind of bricky. These are kind of bricky. All these special summons make up for it. Soul Release technically is not bricky. It will always have a use. You can actually use it at any time. Honestly, when it comes to all of these cards, I'm going to say it. She gets a 7 bar in brick. If it wasn't for the triple magic formula, triple magic Magicians Unite, she would be unbreakable. But because of that, I have had some times where I'm like, oh, this hand isn't perfect, but it's always been good. I've always had good hands with Dark Magician Girl. She is one of the most interesting characters to play as. She is going to receive a 7 bars in the brick stat. And honestly, when it comes to her, she is a tournament contender. I'm not joking. I have won plenty of duels with this deck because instead of going for damage, depending on the opponent, when you know you're going up against a strong opponent when it comes to attack, if you think you're going to face somebody that has heavy attack or defense stats, like say the giant orc deck of Briar and Beauregard, the dual giant, or the high attack stat of Slade, go for stall. Just do it. Go for stall. Go for the Magician's Valkyria. You can win by just using Fire Sorcerer. You can win by using Ebon Magician Kuran because they can't attack your spellcasters and that's all you have. And it's hard for your opponent to actually get popping cards. Popping monsters is not very common in this series. Some people have one, some people have none. It's just not common. Dark Magician Girl is a tournament contender. She can win the tournament. It's not that likely, but she can do it. In fact, because of her skill stat, because of her tactical cards, if you play this deck correctly, I will say that Dark Magician Girl earns herself a 3-star potential for winning the tournament. She can do it, guys. You can do it with her. But that is going to be it for all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Season 1 deck profiles. This is your last chance. If you want to be a part of the tournament using all of these decks, if you want to be one of these decks, I'm going to need you to join my Discord. This is your final opportunity. Go into the description right now. There is a Discord button. Go into my Discord and get ready for the message. You don't need to worry about messaging me. I will message everybody and be like, guys, the tournament date will be this day at this time, which has not been decided yet, but it will be when you guys see this video, and I'll be like, okay, this is when I'm going to do it. If you're not available, then I'm afraid you won't be able to participate. If you are available, then when you're there on the day of, you will probably get to play as the character you want. If you don't, I will still make sure you get to play as a character. You'll still get to have fun in the series with us. But that is going to be it. We have 30 characters to choose from. There are only 2 characters in Season 1 I intentionally left out. They are the tennis guy, because there were like no cards in existence other than like 2, which was like Deuces and Mega Thunderball. Those are the only cards I could find. And Chumley's dad, which none of the Dizzy cards exist in this game. I'm sorry. Not even the hot sauce bottle. None of those exist in this game. They exist in Tag Force, but they don't exist here. So those 2 characters were left out. This series has these deck profiles have come to an end. Everybody at home, give me some time. Since this is a subscriber series, I'm not going to have the tournament ready. You're going to see the tournament in the coming weeks or maybe coming days. I don't know how fast I'm going to work on them. And I'll see you all next time. Thank you all for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Season 1 subscriber tournament. Bye-bye.